What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the CFL podcast. And if you didn't watch the previous video that I just uploaded, this is work attire, okay? All this is work attire. Because I didn't think it was fair that, I'm coming home from work and y'all are only getting like one video a day because I'm tired or whatever. I can still like give y'all content as soon as I get home and then do what I gotta do. So that's why these videos are coming at you now. So I want to talk about tonight Aqeel Glass's draft stock because I'm genuinely concerned with it right now. It's falling. It has to be falling. We know how hard it is for black quarterbacks as it is, but Aqeel Glass for FCS quarterbacks as well. The NFL draft is something that I'm very interested in, and I've always been very interested in as a kid. I watch it every year, every little thing, every pro day, everything. Every little segment that they have in the NFL draft, I watch it, right? And one of the things that I notice is that when they talk about FCS quarterbacks, they're harder in their critique on them because they're at the FCS level. So level of play is a factor. Number two, but if you're at the FCS level, there are a couple of things that they look for. Number one, any glaring talents that you have. Like for Trey Lance last year, right? It was the arm that he had. It was the fact that he did not throw an interception. It was the fact that he was just this dynamic athlete who didn't lose a game at all in his 17 career games at North Dakota State. It was everything like that, right? And it was the people he beat, him winning a championship and all of that, national championship and all of that. Uh, they had to go at his stats, like they really had to sit here and critique him, and they also had to see, does he dominate his level of play, which he did. When you ask those questions about Aqeel Glass, like does he dominate his level of play? I mean, let's look at his whole body of work, right? Because I want to be fair and I want to be objective as always. So 2018, his season stats: 194 for 346 yards, ended up with a 56% completion percentage, 2,421 yards passing, 20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That's a pretty decent year for your first start. That's good, right? And then he exploded in 2019. That's when he burst onto the scene. He had 273 completions for 446 yards, a 61% completion percentage, 3,600 yards passing, 32 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. The touchdown to interception ratio, it got a lot better. Completion percentage got better. Everything went up. His completions went up. So it he was flying, and he took that momentum over into the spring. Because I'm going to give him credit, right? He took that momentum over into the spring. But when the spring came, you started to see some red flags as well. Like the opener versus South Carolina State, where he threw 3 picks. A little, it began to become obvious that okay, he takes shots, he makes what's the word? He unwarranted passes, right? Like passes that he should not make, he makes them. Or at least he attempts them, right? And then in 2021, currently so far, he has 155 completions, 261 yards. So far, he has a 59% completion percentage, 2,003 yards, 17 touchdowns, but he has 7 interceptions. He is not dominating his level of play. When I look at his whole body of work so far, he's regressing. He's regressing. But the season isn't over. It's not over. But when you look at how he actually plays, how he's playing this season, he's regressing. Because I'm not going to give him as much slack as I would a freshman quarterback like Shedeur Sanders because he's a senior. Because you are a senior, there's certain things I expect you at this point in your college career to know how to pull games out. I expect you to know when and when not to make throws, all right? And he's not doing it. Let's look at this season. So, number one, you blew an 18-point lead to FAMU. Scouts are going to look at that. That's going to count against you. You lose that game, right? And then in that game, you were 16 for 36, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and you had a 44% completion percentage. That's not good at all. That's going to count against you. The loss to Grambling State is going to count against you because you threw 4 interceptions that game. Tuskegee, a Division II school, they're gonna do their homework on you. A Division II school, you threw 2 picks, and you almost lose that game as well. With the receiving core that you have, it's becoming a problem. With the running back that you have the leading rusher in the SWAC, and yet this is still your play throughout the season so far. It's not looking good for him, and these things are going to be counted against him. These are things that he's going to be asked about when he does take these interviews with these teams. Maybe he's going to even be asked that at the Legacy Bowl or the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl, wherever he ends up after the season. He's going to be asked these questions, and he's going to have to account for them. These scouts do their research. So not only is the level of play not where they're going to want it to be, you're not dominating your level of competition. And then the next question would be, right, does he throw his receivers open, right? What does he have physically? What gifts does he have physically? And an argument can be made that he doesn't throw his receivers open as well, right? Like, it's a difference between making an accurate throw to the receiver for a 12-yard gain and, him just falling down after the catch, and you making a pinpoint accurate throw to the receiver to where he can catch it and continue running and he can score. There's a difference. With Aqeel Glass, the argument can be made that his receivers make his throws look good because of the catches that they make sometimes. Not to say that he don't make accurate passes at all, because we know he does. But with the receiving core that he has, again, not his fault that he has a good receiving core. But with that being said, those guys a lot of times make his passes look better than what they are. All I'm saying is he's gonna need to pull it together. He's gonna need to pull it together, because I want to see him get drafted. This isn't a Aqeel Glass hate video. You obviously want to see him get drafted because you know he has the talent to do so. But so far, it looks like he's regressing, and he needs to get back on track, because your team is not above 500 right now. You're not in contention for a championship. You need to end the season on a positive note. Get it together so that way you can ensure, right, that you're still in the minds of these NFL scouts by the time the draft rolls around. So let me know what y'all thinking down below in the comments about Aqeel Glass's draft stock. But this is just a thought that I had while I was at work. I'm like, his stock, it has to be dropping. It really does have to be dropping. It's hard enough as it is for an FCS quarterback to get drafted, which is why you see it so few and far in between. I want this to happen for him, but like I said, he needs to just get it together, and he needs to, play. He needs to have a strong season for the rest of the season, because based off of what I'm seeing right now, based off the stats I just gave you, it's not really looking good. He's up and down, and right now he's down. He's trending downward, so he needs to get it together. Hopefully, he can finish this season on a high note, and we can hear his name called on draft night. Whichever round that may be. I'm not going to say which round he's going to go. I don't like to play that game, but I just want to hear his name called, because I'm the type of guy who will watch all 7 rounds of the draft. It's boring after the second round, but still, not to me. So, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below about his draft stock. I'm genuinely concerned right now. I really am. And I want to see him prevail, because we know he has talent. Physical gifts, he has a good arm, but he doesn't have a rocket arm, right? Like he has a good arm, not even decent. He has a good arm, but there's nothing that's glaring. There's nothing glaring. There's nothing that pops out. He's slow. He can't run, and that's not a diss towards him. That's just the truth. He can't run. So you're a statue in the pocket. Something needs to stand out with you. His release is pretty good as well. But like I said, something needs to stand out with you. He needs to have a great season from this point on, so to ensure that he gets drafted. But with that being said, man, that's all I have to say on that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about his draft stock and where you think it's headed. Do you think he's still going to get drafted? Does this not matter? Or do you think it's taking a huge fall because of his performance? But yeah, man, you are watching the CFL podcast. I go by the name of Kobe, and I'm about to go take a shower. Peace.